Okay, so I believe this is like one of the two courses which is about programming, right? You have CS 109, and then for like 3 years, 2 years, you do nothing with numerical methods, and then you suddenly this course presents itself. So uh, uh, what we try to do in this course is there is this aspect of numerical methods, but there's also an aspect of programming in this course. Okay, and not wouldn't say it's kind of heavy, but if you have done CSO 109, it should be fine. So before we get started with all the details, my name is Pranav Bonsul. You can call me by my first name. My first name at uic.edu is my email. I'm an assistant professor in mechanical engineering. All of you are taking this class for the first time. It's my first time teaching this course. So we're all first timers here. So, I have to figure out how this goes, but I have taken this course as a as an undergrad, which was like 21 years ago. And I think that this course was the course which sort of got me interested in programming. And what I do today, which is programming for robots, is because of this course, because of the programming aspect of the course. But why might you want to learn numerical methods? Anything which involves equations, uh, uh, anything which is more complex, modeled by equations, cannot be solved by hand. So what you did in, I guess, high school, solving by hand, doesn't really hold for many of the equations. And so you have to put it in a numerical package to solve it. Okay, so how do you solve for uh, roots of equation or ordinary differential equations, which comes in dynamics, or partial differential equations, which comes in fluids? You need a numerical program to do it. All it does is it starts with some initial guess and then just proceeds using those equations as constraints that it need to be followed. Like, for example, the physics, Newton's laws, or some Euler-Stokes equations, so on. So even if you do not end up writing code, if you use any software, it's probably some numerical method which is in the back end doing things. And sometimes it's good to know what's going on in the back end, because things, when they don't work as expected, you need to sort of conceptually understand what's going on. Some people have to dig into the code, pick out something which is not working, and then fix it. So I would say it's kind of essential. This is an important course, even though it may not directly be mechanical or industrial engineering, but it's sort of the backbone of almost everything you will do, you have done, and you will do. So I'm the instructor. Introduce myself. The TA is Ernesto Hernandez. He's going to be pretty much grading. You won't really meet him, but if you have questions, you can email me or him. I have to put his email. I put it in the syllabus. It's not in the syllabus right now. There is a textbook for this course, which was handed to me by the instructor who taught it before me, John Comparda. I would say, I don't know if he required you to buy it, but I do not require you to buy the book. So don't spend your money on the book. I'll give you my notes, which you can use to study. And also the questions will be from the book, but I wouldn't say chapter 4, problem, whatever, 12. No, I will just give you the question as a question which you can just read and solve it. So you don't need to buy the book, but if you want to buy the book and read the material, you're more than welcome. The Blackboard will be used to maintain the syllabus, announcements, everything you'll find on Blackboard. The prerequisites are CS 109 programming. In general, any language will help, and I'm not really assuming that you know programming. I'm just going to sort of give you code, also give you, today's class will be an introduction to programming. So hopefully I'll have you covered, but you have the responsibility to learn programming if you haven't. Many times it is not about the rules of plagiarism work differently for programming. It's fine if you take code from somewhere else and put it yours, and people do it all the time. That's fine. Unlike, if you take an essay from somewhere and put it in your essay, then people don't like it. So I'm fine with you picking code from the web. Absolutely fine. All good programmers do that. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Slightly different rules from what other people say about writing essays. We meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 1:50. How many of you had a nice walk from the court to here? All of you? Do you like this classroom? It's very hot here. I know that. It's cold. It's very hot. We can Do you think there's something we can change? It's 65, but doesn't look like 65. It's actually 81 here, which I think at this point we may as well go out and take the class, right? It's
really thick.
okay. So I need to raise a ticket for this. It's very hot. Very hot, yeah. Today is a hot day, but it's not working. 65 and it's actually 81 here. Okay, so apart from the temperature, which I think will be fixed, do you like the walk here? So what happened was this class had a cap size of 66. And so I saw that we had reached the cap size of 66. It was in 1023 ERF. And I told the person who manages the room that we need a bigger class because we have more than 66. So this person moved the classroom here, but did not change the cap. So it's still 66, and we moved to this hot room. So it's my fault in a way. But I'm trying to get it back to 1023 ERF, so it will not be that big a walk. I think, I guess it's okay, right? If it says here, it's nice walk after food. But there's something else, which is the third bullet point. You don't need to come to class. There's no attendance. You can be present to the class through Zoom. That's the link. It's also on the syllabus. You might need the passcode, make 400 plus. So I'm fine with you coming in person or sitting wherever you want to sit, dialing into Zoom. I think there are a few people on Zoom already. If you miss both, that's fine too. I'll post all the notes, and this is basically recorded, so I'll post it on YouTube, and you'll access this through Blackboard. So feel free to attend, not attend. I'm fine with that, just provided you study the course material and be responsible for the homeworks. If you are attending virtually, just be mindful that we are recording this thing, so you don't want to be in the video in some you don't want to be talking something or being in the video in awkward ways, which will then be posted on YouTube. So just be mindful about that. Other than that, I have no problem if you ask questions and through chat or through just talking. The grading for this course is as follows. We have homeworks, 3 exams. Note I did not say final exam. I'll talk about the exams in a bit. There's a final project, and then there's bonus. Okay, now I thought a lot about what programming software to use. I think previously MATLAB has been used, but I just don't want to tell you to go and purchase MATLAB. It costs $100 for the student version. So what I've decided to do is I will go with Octave, which is free. However, all the Octave code runs in MATLAB, no problem. All MATLAB code need not run on Octave because some libraries, some functions are not programmed in Octave, but I'm pretty sure that all the Octave code runs on MATLAB. So just to make it, I don't want you to buy software. I just stuck with Octave. I could have taken Python, but I think that Python has a significant learning curve compared to Octave. So we'll stick with Octave. And of course, you are free to use MATLAB. The other way you can run MATLAB is through Citrix, but people complain that's slow. So you can do that too. You can also use Python if you are ambitious. Go ahead with use Python, but we cannot promise to provide help for programming because we just want to, it becomes difficult to manage more than one software. Also, I'll be giving you code in MATLAB. So if you are using Python, then you need to write your own code. You can also switch, that's fine too. Let's get to the details of grading. The homework is 20%. I'm allowing you to work in groups of 2, but 2 is the max. You can't go in groups of 3, 4, because once it becomes too many in a group, then 1 or 2 people contribute, others don't. So groups of 2 max. We'll keep the homeworks due on Thursday. It will be online through Gradescope. Now, some parts need to be done by hand. They'll go in Gradescope, but some parts you might have to make, you guys have to mail it to us, and I'll provide that in the homework description, which parts go in Gradescope, which part have to be mailed. Okay, let me talk about exams first. Now, I thought about this. I thought that you'll be flooded with lots of things to do in the final week or after the final week, which is the exam week. and many of you, I believe, are seniors. So I don't want to have any finals for this course, which will stress you. So I just have 3 exams during the semester. It's going to be, we have, I think, 7 chapters or 7 chapters. So every 2 chapters, we have an exam, and the last chapter is just PDEs. There will not be an exam for that. So it'll be roughly, we do 2 chapters, we have an exam, and then I'll be testing it only those 2 chapters. So we'll be done, hopefully, my guess is by Thanksgiving, with at least the exams. I'm not, see, when I say something, it might change because it's my first time teaching this. And then instead of the final exam, I'll have the project, but you can submit the project earlier, no problem. You don't have to wait till the finals week. I'll talk about that in a bit. The exam is the only thing you need to come in person. Okay, you have to be in person to take the exam unless there's some medical emergencies. This is going to be an individual exam, no group exams. Okay, you will not be allowed to get any textbooks, but you'll be allowed to get one letter-sized page, which you can write anything you want, write solutions, write formulas, whatever you want, but you will not get more than one letter-sized page. Don't use mobile cell phones as calculators. You need to get an actual calculator. Yeah, question. I think I'll be fine both sides. I think in the syllabus it says one side, but it's fine if you get both sides. Calculators. So if you have a calculator, please get it for the exam. Some people have asked me what calculators should I use. What I suggest to people is that search for the FE exam calculator. FE exam is the fundamentals in engineering exam, which you take to become, that's one step to get to be a professional engineer. They have a list of calculators. They are kind of inexpensive, like $5, $10. I think the most expensive might be like $15 or $20. But that's a calculator I would recommend getting if you don't have a calculator. If you have a calculator, please don't go and buy that one. You don't need to buy another calculator. My office hours are through Zoom. That's the same link. Monday, Wednesday, 11 to 12:30. I'm put that in red because I don't know if that's a good time work for everybody. If I get complaints that why don't you have a different time, I might change that. So I'll inform you about the change time if that changes sometime in the next week or 2. Okay, and email is a good way to reach me. It's my first name at UIC, and I usually very quick with emails, but give me 24 hours to get back. The course topics are as follows. There are, let's see, how many bullet points? 1, 2, 8 bullet points. The last one is something which I really think is very useful. It's for people, but it's not in the syllabus. I'm keeping it time permitting. PD is something which we'll talk, but there won't be an exam on that. There'll only be homeworks. But the other 6 are the things where there'll be a homework. So every 2 chapters, those 2 bullet points, there'll be an exam. Okay, for each of those bullet points, there'll be a homework probably, or maybe 2. Depends on how much I can cover in one homework. I think I forgot the project. So the final project is 20%. This again can be done in individual groups of 2. I'm thinking of, I'll make it due during the finals week, okay, but I should probably assign it much before Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, I think, is the second to last week. The last week is after Thanksgiving, that week is the last week, and then you have the exam. So I'll assign it beforehand, but you can submit it by the finals week. Okay, so that's TBD topic.